Woohoo! That was a weak woohoo, but welcome, my friends. It's me, KP. I'm here in my studio, the Moon and the Maker, home of ArtFoamies, and I'm here for ArtFoamies Fun Friday. First one for the month of May. Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to tell you that I can't believe that it is May 3rd, my friends. So let me say hello to everyone and greet you all properly. Bernadette is here. You get the gold star tonight, Bernadette. Cecilia Shar is here. Zandra, Patty McFarlane, also known as Ron. Evelyn is here. Susan, Joy, Heather Bailey, Deb is here. Susan Horn, Amy is here. Jenny Maroney. I already said Susan. Yes, we're going to talk about Mr. Moon's thumb. I think I've said the word thumb more than I've said thumb my whole life this week. It is hilarious. I mean, not the fact that he broke his thumb pretty brutally, but the fact that it's just been a lot of thumb talk, you know? Anyway, you got to laugh at something. Christina is here. Terry Moore, you are so sweet, Terry. I don't know if Jan is here, but Mr. Moon got a card from you and Jan today, and it really made his day. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Did I say hi to Pamela? I hope I did. Sharon is here. Krabby Abby, Linda Finney, Estrella D. Ray. Oh my goodness. Puffer, Ginger. We have such a great group here tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to greet you all by name soon. Roberta, Catherine, oh my goodness. Who else? Ellen, Phyllis, Kathy, Brianna, Linda, Lydia, Jack and Dana, Debbie, Martin, Terry, Di. Oh my goodness. Susan, Renee. I hope I did not miss anybody. It's me, KP, and we are here for, again, Mermaid. It's Mermaid, right? And I know that many of you, so you know that we only do launches on Friday. So if the first isn't fall on a Friday, then it's not happening till the first Friday. So we're just starting the celebration now. We are here for Mermaid. Jane Davenport and I have been planning for this for a while. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to introduce to you Jane's new mermaid stuff. We're going to talk about other stuff because we have to talk about Mr. Moon's thumb. And we have to talk about, of course, Jane and all the stuff that Jane is doing. I am going to be using her layer cakes. Oh my gosh, we love Jane's layer cakes around here. What else? We're going to be talking about the Mooney pop-up. We have a Mooney pop-up, which I'm going to tell you about. I hope that you'll definitely come back next week because we're going to start the Mooney pop-up next week. But first we have to do this week, and we're so excited. I love, love, love working with Jane. I know that everybody already knows Jane Davenport. She does not need an she doesn't need an introduction, but she is lovely to work with. She is amazingly prolific, and I think she will also, for our Australian friends, Jane did order some of her own mermaid stuff to carry on her site. So if you prefer to order from Jane, I don't honestly know if she has it up yet. But she will have some of her own ArtFoamies on her website. So again, if you're in Australia or you prefer to order from Jane, please do. And then, of course, on our website, we have the new Jane Davenport mermaids. I'm going to switch the camera around. You don't need to see my face or my hair. I'm going to be getting a haircut soon. Anyway, I hope you're not here for the hairstyles, my friends. Jan, I was just talking about you. I don't know if you heard me say that Mr. Moon did get your card today, and that was so sweet. I'm going to have to stop for just a moment and raise my camera just a bit. Let me see if I can do it here. It's just a little bit short. Maybe that's a little better. Yeah, I'm not really getting the whole thing in, which I guess it doesn't matter that much. Let me see if I can zoom out. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's a little better, right? There we go. Okay. So, okay. Jan says the last time I looked, the mermaids are not yet up on her site. So I don't know. I have to be honest with you. Jane ordered some of her own stamps, but I don't know 100%. if they're going to be on her site. You might want to ask her. Maybe she was just doing them to, to give to friends, or I'm not really, or to use. I really don't know. But of course, you can order them from artfoamies.com. We will never deter you. All right. So for those of you who remember when we did launch the Jane Davenport collection, this is my special Jane journal that I made just for all of Jane's Art Foamies. And I left some pages blank just to be able to share these with you. Okay, so you can remember a lot of these from her first collection, right, that are in here. And I did make a pocket for a lot of her different things, that either that I made or that came directly from Jane when I ordered from her and stuff like that. So these are all, if you love Jane Davenport and you do not have all of her collection, then definitely go over and shop on the site and look at all of her things. However, this is the collection. It's not a huge collection. Let's just say it is small but mighty. Okay. Jan, you're so funny. You're distracting me and making me laugh when I look at the comments. Okay, so I'm going to pull out each stamp and stamp them for you. And I also do have my iPad pulled up with the names so I don't get confused. I also do want to say, for those of you who remember Jane's first collection, okay, I'm going to show you this. We had the eye with the laurel leaf that was in her first, or is in her first collection. It's a little set. Many of you, so many of you asked and wrote and said, can we please have another eye? So Jane and I together, it is Jane's artwork, of course, but I said, Jane, please, let's include some eyes so people have both. So we did do a set of eyes in a large and a small, okay? And I want to let you know we did them and let me go ahead and stamp these for you too, okay? We did do these on the same stamp, okay? However, if you, and this just makes it so much easier for us, not only to, when we actually do make it, create it, but when we go to pack it and ship it, we don't have to figure out which one is the left and which one's the right and all that. All right. So if you want to easily separate these when you get them, you can snip them apart with the scissors, okay? If you want them to work individually, or if you want to have them separately, it is so easy just to trim that right up, okay? However, I'm going to suggest that it's also easier to keep track of if you have it as one stamp. And remember, you can easily stamp one at a time. All right. That is no problem. The flexibility of the foam and the way that we design them makes it super easy if you just want to stamp one eye. All right. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So that's called I see. Okay. I see. And then you got, they're sold not as a set, but they're sold as a large or small. So when you go to the website, if you click on something and it has a drop down menu, you can choose your size. Okay. So that is I see. And again, here it is stamped out and painted. All right. So then we have a couple different sizes of scales, because of course you cannot just have one little wimpy scale, right? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, these are going to fit. The small one is really nice, and I will show you this because I don't know if a lot of people know this. Oh, Phyllis, you're so brilliant. Phyllis says if you use the back side of the eyes, it makes a mustache. And I do think you're right. That is hilarious. That does look like a mustache. So you get a twofer. Anyway, I'm going to show you this. This is one of the, this is Artista's. Now, when you do order the mermaids, okay, it does come in a set. You get the solid tail and you get the full mermaid, okay? And I'll go ahead and stamp those for you, but I wanted to show you. So the large scales make a fantastic background, okay? Nice and big, and will, you know, take up a lot of space fairly quickly, which is nice, right? So there you have, and it lines up pretty nicely. You can, you know, really pretty much see right where it fits in together. So it makes it pretty seamless, right? So that's the large. And then the small is actually great. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and ink up our tail, okay? So, and one thing I found, I don't know how many of you have seen my dauber set yet. I have this set that I created of daubers, okay? And I do love inking up my stamps foam on foam. It really, it works really, really well. It's something I've recently been discovering and playing with, and it's nicer than almost any other tool to ink another foam stamp up, because you're not going down into the recessed areas, and it just glides really nicely on each other. Okay, so that's something kind of new. So here I have my solid Artista tail inked up. Okay, and now I'm going to take another color. I'm going to actually take my extra bright dye ink pink crush, and it's not going to be perfect color because it's already dirty, but I just wanted to be able to show you where it can show up. Okay, so you could do this with a clean dry stamp or a colored stamp. That's up to you. You can pull color out or you can pull color in, but it is just a nice tip. You can remove color off the tail or stamp color onto the tail, and it does give you a really nice pattern on the tail, right? Ta-da! Can you see that? And it's not the best coloration, but anyway, so that, my friends, and then I'll stamp this up for you too. Let's pull this over just a little bit. And I'm going to stamp her I'm going to use a dark color here. And I will say, when I am inking with black, it is not the easiest thing to see. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to have a very great image or not. We'll try it. What the heck? Yeah, the scrap, Jan, you're probably right. The Scrap Buddy is better in a way for paint, although I have found that if you take your foamy friend, your solid foam, and load that up with paint, it makes it nice. But the jelly plate too. Actually, don't really like using acrylic on the foam as much because, you know, it has a tendency to harden. Oops, and I didn't get a very, well, I mushed, but that's okay. You still get the idea, right? And she's stamped okay. They are, of course, beautiful, but they are Jane's drawings, so that sort of goes without saying. All right, and I have another clean, fresh stamp here. I'm just going to load it up. I'm going to use a little chartreuse or a little of my starlight yellow. Is that right? Starlight yellow. Yes, that's what I want. Make a little limey green. And then see, they do line up so nicely, even if you're a little off, okay? Even if they're a little offset, which that one actually stamped quite well, quite nicely. But even if it is a little off, it's okay because it just kind of gives you little highlights and areas that you can paint in. So they're really great. Anyway, I'm going to get some fresh paper and stamp them all out for you just so you can see them, see their sizes, and then maybe we'll do a little painting. How about that with some layer cakes? Because you know who doesn't love a layer cake. Also, I do want to show you something that I was actually doing that was kind of fun, and that is that you can get your scrap buddy. Okay, you can wet it with a little bit of water, so you can either dip it in a couple. I don't want it soaking wet though. I'm just going to use my spray bottle. I'm going to spritz it up just a little bit. All right, and then I can take, we'll take this nice teal color. You can load a little layer cake right onto your scrap buddy, and then you can paint your foamy using your layer cake, right? It's just fantastic. I love it. The layer cakes are so creamy and opaque, and yet, you know, the nice thing is that they still move and can get some really nice, almost watercolory effects as well. All right, let me grab another piece of watercolor paper here. Just gonna put that down because that's still wet. And then this one is the tail for Alana. We named them after Ariel's sisters. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's not Alana. This one is, oh yeah, no, it is Alana. The one that's grabbing her own tail is Alana. So one of the things that I did actually is I did load these up with a little bit of paint. Okay, you can do it with watercolor. You can do it with ink or layer cake. If you feel like it's a little too dry, you can give it a spritz with some water. Stamp that there. So cute. Oh my gosh. All right, so there she is. And again, if I didn't get the best stamping, excuse me, it's okay because I am going to overstamp again. And even though these might not overstamp perfectly, like you might not be able to get them lined back up perfectly, it's okay because it gives you just almost like a little bit of, I don't really know how to describe it, but it gives you like that little bit of highlight or a little bit of like aura around her. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll stamp this right over the top, and it will stamp over her hand and stuff like that, but that's okay. Okay, and you can see again, it did not line up perfectly. One of the things that I love about my layer cakes, or not my layer, about layer cakes, is that again, they're opaque enough to cover. Okay, so you do have to get them water activated. But now I can go right back over and I can sort of, you know, pull that back out. And then again, I am going to be painting over, you know, so it's fine. It's almost like I'm not really whiting it out, you know, but I am just lightening that so that when I go back, and you know, I probably will color her hair blue and teal, and that'll really help make it just look really purposeful too. Okay, so and maybe we'll do a few little, maybe she has rainbow hair. We can do some other colors of highlights and so on and so forth. But for now, we'll just start that. And then again too, if you want to overstamp in a darker color, I can go back over with my ink. I can go back over with a little bit dark. I am going to go over with ink so that it is more permanent. So what I'm going to do, just going to, oops, sorry, my blow dryer was stuck. I'm going to dry this for a second. And that's exactly how I painted these inside my journal. Okay, same exact technique that I'm doing and sharing with you here. So a little ink, and the reason I want to use ink over the top is so that it is a little more permanent and won't smear around when I go to, when I go to paint or watercolor. So I need something to spread around my ink over here with. And remember, a lot of times I work light to dark, and that way I don't have to clean off my stamp in between. The main thing, and I know many of you have, heard me talk about this, but one of the main things is to clean your stamps after you have used acrylic paint, okay? That would be the most imperative. Inks and watercolors, it's okay to leave them kind of stained because it's not going to dry crusty on there. All right. Oh, Debbie Martin, thank you. Yes, I don't know how many of you know this, but Jane sells some of the more popular colors individually, just a few. And so I bought the white, I don't remember what this is, but the dark navy blue and the sort of skin tone. So I would have extra. All right, so again, you can see where it's a little offset, and that is perfectly okay. It gives us some undertones, and again, not stamped perfectly, but remember that ArtFoamies foam stamps are not always, going to give you the most precise or the most crisp image. I know, I'm not saying that you can't get that, you can, but they're very much a little looser and more mixed media-ish, if I do say so myself. All right, and I didn't blow dry all of the ink, so I'm going to have to just be careful. And then here where it did offset a little bit, I will go in and do some, covering a little bit with my white. It's not like I'm trying to white it out because it will still sort of show back up, but then it almost looks like shadows or, again, your values, right? Your lights and your darks. It gives you just sort of like a nice underpainting. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a little sort of flesh color, if you will, a little medium skin tone. And of course, any of those little details that you want to go back in and, finesse, you definitely can. Just, of course, that kind of goes without saying. One of the reasons I do like stamping in the blue, the under stamping in the blue, it does make a pretty nice sort of undertone, especially for a mermaid, right? Because she's underwater. And then, all the other little things you want to do. You want to give her some rosy cheeks because I just always think that makes everything look cuter. And, lip color. Maybe you want her to have, I think coral would be such a nice color to complement the teal, and then I will go back in and sort of hit some of that, or you can leave little highlights too, or you can go in and make your own little patterns. That again is the beauty of of the base layer, of using your art foamies for your base layers. And, you know, keeping in mind too, anything you don't like, if you don't like that, then it is so easy just to smush it and mush it and then go back in and do what, you know, do your thing. So here, and you could overstamp some of the scales if you want to. Definitely, you know, I'm feeling like it could use a little green. So let's go in here. And again, those beautiful, they don't call them layer cakes for nothing, right? They layer beautifully. So, and then you can, of course, take whatever kind of, you know, liner pen, Sharpie, whatever. I'm going to use a little micro perm, and you can go in and fix up her eyes, give her some little darks and lights, some pupils back, you know. Maybe you want to give her some little eyelashes or just darken up some of those values. But there's that. And then, of course, you know, I have such fun going in maybe with a bigger brush and just being really loose with some and watery and washy with, again, more layer cakes. Maybe we want to give her a little sort of glow around her. Use a little yellow. And then just smush it there with our teal. And I really enjoy to, you know, it's underwater, right? So you can just get really abstracty and have fun. You can pull out also your watercolors. And, you know, Jane has so many fantastic, wonderful art supplies. So whether you have some of her watercolors or, oh my gosh, inks, whatever, you know, it doesn't have to be Jane's though either. Whatever you got in your arsenal, you can, you know, just go in and make some little seaweeds. And then I do, of course, think that adding back in some of the scales maybe. And if you're using some inks, you know, sometimes those are great because they can kind of resist. The inks will resist a little bit of the watercolor, so that's always a fun element to put in there. And then also, of course, we have some other imagery in our catalog. I just had to pull it out and just share with you. Red Tin Roof has some fantastic coral. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to stamp it for you because it just, of course, goes amazingly well with Jane's imagery. I love that. I do. That is beautiful coral. And then we got some other, I think, another thicker coral. So we got that. And I think that is a beautiful addition as well. What else? And then the seaweed. Oh my gosh, love the seaweed. Right, and again, this will resist some of the watercolor or layer cakes that I'm going to put down. This is Sunny Carvalho's, and I know we have so many Sunny lovers here too. I had to pull this out just to say, oh, you know, some of these will make fantastic additions to our mermaid stuff, right? Anyway, and then Long and Leafy, one of my favorites. You know this one by Gina Ahrens. Long and Leafy, another favorite, would be great. This is the Honey I Shrunk the Stamp version, so it's a small version. Another really nice one. I have to just mention some of our other artists as well, and you know, give them a shout out too, because doesn't that look amazing? And again, stamped it with the extra bright dye inks, and again, they sort of resist, so that makes it really nice. And I just have a little watery layer cake here. And then, because you know I love my pinks. We got to add a little of that. A little reflected color down in the bottom of the ocean. And you know me, I love my little portals, my little arches, so we're just gonna do that. And I'm just going crazy with one brush. I do that sometimes. I have a aversion to switching brushes very often. And you know, because a little sunlight is filtering down. And there we go. A little more blue. And I'm just smushing around now, but it's okay. I'm having fun. That's what Art Foamy Fun is all about, my friends. So, all right. And then, you know, I would love to pull out my little white paint pens, maybe some other little bubbles. I don't know. All sorts of fun imagery to, you know, to pull out and play with and experiment with as well. All right. I feel like she needs a little more yellow. All right, so I don't know. You get the idea, and I could just keep messing around on this for a while. I don't know how I only started painting half my paper, but somehow. Anyway, so again, that one, my friends, is Alana. And I did get a little carried away stamping her. Let's see, the other two are Artista and Adela. So this one, again, Alana. And then we have, this one's Artista, and she's the one with her hand hanging down and her tail in an S shape. And then Adela is the one that looks like she's getting ready to go on a swimming sprint. And then we have Alana holding her own fishy tail. Anyway, so does anybody have any thoughts or questions? Oh, yes, we have to do the numbers game. And oh, thank you, Amy. And we have to talk still about the Mooney pop-up. I need to take a poll real fast. How many of you know about the Mooney pop-up and or what it is? Just say yes if you do, no if you don't. And we will play the numbers game, and we will be giving a set of the Jane's mermaids of your choice. Okay, so we'll start that in just a couple minutes. So thank you, Joy. And we love Jane. We love you. We love Art Foamy Fun. Huh. And also, yes, it's 1 week since Mr. Moon smashed his finger. I don't know how many of you remember last week we had to cancel Art Foamy Fun Friday right before Mr. Moon smashed his finger, like about 40 minutes before Art Foamy Fun started. So it was no fun. We spent the evening in the emergency room. He did break it pretty brutally, and it is on the mend, though. So we are going to have it go looked at, or we're going to go have it looked at again in about a week, and we'll keep you posted. Heather Bailey. Don't listen to Heather Bailey. Okay, so we have a lot of people that say no. So what the Mooney pop-up is that I'm going to turn the camera around and just talk to you for a minute. So if we have any questions, and then we'll play the numbers game, and then we'll come back and yeah, and just have a couple other little quick show and tells. Okay, so let me turn this camera on me so I can talk to you all. And we have quite a few people saying no, they don't know what the Mooney pop-up is. So okay, so I'm very excited about this. What the Mooney pop-up is that, and I don't even know how many of you know about this because I'm not always the best. I'm very good about promoting ArtFoamies and talking about ArtFoamies, but I'm not always the best when it comes to talking about my Patreon. So me, KP, I have a Patreon group, and if you are a member of my Patreon at the highest tier, which is $50 a month, we have been for about 2 years, I think, design people in that tier have been designing ArtFoamies. I've been teaching how to design ArtFoamies. So anybody that's in that tier has had the opportunity to design their own ArtFoamies. And now, after all these years and time of preparation, we are going to be having a Mooney pop-up where many of you artists that are my patrons are putting your art on ArtFoamies in our Mooney pop-up. It's going to be from May 10th through the end of the month is just going to be the pop-up, but then we will be re-releasing things. So I don't, because it's a lot of ArtFoamies and it's a lot of artists. We have 28 artists participating. Oh my gosh. And every artist has usually about 1 to 4 designs. Okay. So we will we will be bringing people back and having other opportunities in the future. This is just our first one. It started very organically and it's taken a while to get it all put together, but I'm super, super excited about it because I'm just over the moon. I really don't know how to express my excitement for working with you all to bring your ArtFoamies to life. Okay. So anyway, I hope that you'll know more about it next week. And we will be doing another one. So for those of you who want to learn more about it, go and become my patron. You can even become a patron for free and then just sort of watch and follow along and see if it's something that you'd like to do. Also, you don't have to be a member of the $50 tier forever. It is something that we can, offer, and you can go up and down in tiers. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if that is the best explanation, but more about it next week. And so I hope that you'll all come, follow along, follow some of your friends, that are, if you know some of the Moonies that are my patrons, follow them and watch for their launch. Okay. So yes, 28 artists. Oh my gosh, it is so much, so many stamps. So one of the things I want to tell you too, if you are a $50 member of my Patreon, you, for the month of May, will receive 40% off your ArtFoamies. We're doing that as a special so that many of you that are Moonies already can get the pop-up stamps at a discounted price, okay? Because I know it's a lot. Anyway, I love you all to the moon and back. And it has just been so exciting and fun, but it has been a lot of work. I won't lie, but worth it 1000%. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera back around because I still have a couple other show and tells I want to share with you. So, anyway, yes, thank you all for joining on the journey. I love it. Okay, let's turn this back around. So, okay, I got to take a drink of water now. I'm getting so excited. Do you want me to stamp the other mermaids, or are y'all good? We'll do the numbers game. Let me write the number first, okay? I'm going to write the number, then we'll play the numbers game. You will get to pick a set, whoever the winner is, and you know how to play the numbers game, right? So what I do, I'm going to write down a number right now on this piece of paper. You're going to guess between 1 and 100, the closest to it without going over wins. If I have 2 winners, that's okay. More than 2, we have to redo it. All right. Okay, we are going to have until 4:42. Ready, set, go. My number's on here. Okay. Orange Spiral says, yes, I want to see how you do the one with arms. Well, they all have arms, so I'm not sure which one. This one or this one? Top or middle? you can answer that in a minute. I have to keep up with numbers. Okay, we have Christine 48, Nancy Gray 50, Linda Finney 29, Ron McFarlane 58, Zandra 17, Renee 13, Cheryl 23, Jen White 3, Joy 56, D Ray 22, Patty 20, Evelyn 59, Cindy 67, Debbie Martin 74, Jack Fulton 22, Crafts by You 55, Kathy Whitney 11, Lydia Leonard 13, Jan Bryant 11, Tam 52, AG 15, Cecilia 35, Ellen Bush 4, Krabby Abby 14. Let me say that again. Krabby Abby 14, Sharon 18, Carmen Jones 11, Phyllis 69, Heather Bailey 7, Jenny Maroney 97, Catherine Grow 28, Acme Post 19, Debbie Armstrong 66, Derby 33, Anita 13, Orange Spiral 67, Reverend Christina 45, Scrap Babs 63, Loretta 36, Sarah Slider 43, Marcy Hampton 23, Gail Doobie-Doo 65, Estrella 52, Susan Horn 23, Anita 77, Ginger Spark 7, Susan Hoyt Handsome 17, Pam Shales 13. Okay. Okay, I got you, Brianna. Susan Handsome 17, Shar 4, Dana 42, Mary Stewart 25, Puffer 5, Terry Moore 53, Ellen 55. Okay, it is 4:42. We're going to call numbers. Last call for numbers. If I did not call your name and number, please say it again right now. I'll give you just another few seconds, and I'm going to go back through the numbers and figure out. Nobody got it on the head, but I do think that people came close. Okay. Who said numbers? What does that mean, Linda? Linda, I said, not sure what you mean by that, Linda. Did you call it a number, Linda? I don't see yours. Linda Weber. Mary Stewart. Oh, you can't change numbers. Mary Stewart said 25, then 26. 25. You only get one number call. Roberta 18. Okay, no more numbers. We are done. It is 4:43. The two closest people, okay, Kathleen, I did see your number, but we're 16. We're done with numbers. Nobody got it right on the nose. The two closest are Ginger Sparks and Heather Bailey. I had number 8. So please message me, Ginger Sparks and Heather Bailey, with your choice of a mermaid set, okay? Heather Bailey. And also, last week's winners, I just want you to know that I did just receive the boxes and your winnings will go out this week, okay? Thank you all so much for playing our corny little numbers game, but I still love it. And you get mermaid set of choice. See, I have to write this all down. Otherwise, yes, I will forget. Even though I say I won't forget, I still will. All right. Okay, I had a couple requests to stamp the arm over the tail girl. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do her. And I'm going to first stamp her. Oh, let's stamp her in, what color shall we do? Let's stamp her in a little green, okay? Or a little yellow and a little green. I don't know. I am going to stamp it in layer cakes again, okay? Do a little flesh tone too. And yes, I do want to show and share with you that I do muck up my wheels pretty good. However, they're not hard to just take a little clean towel and clear them off, okay? So I don't want you to think I'm ruining them, because I'm not. I do this quite often. and a nice clean brush will also clear that up. Okay. So I got a little blue, a little teal, and a little yellow on here as well. And it's nice to know too, you can go in and even just, you know, darken up some other areas if you want to. Oh, we have new comments. Sorry for not paying attention. Thank you. You guys are great. All right, so there she is, and that looks great. Do you love the way she's like variegated like that? Okay, and of course now, again, I can go in and start painting on her. And remember, if you do stamp in water-soluble, you know, paint or, yeah, water-soluble medium, paint, whatever, you know, you can pull a lot of the color with your wet brush, your wet or thirsty brush still as well. So sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes not, you know? But again, I love it because since she is a mermaid and she is underwater, okay, some of the sort of, you know, what am I trying to say? Some of that sort of washy, you know, paint blossoming, I don't, you know, or sort of transfer is good. I like it. And I will tell you, I'm not using a very good brush. This is just a cheap kids brush, actually from Target, but it does the job okay, you know. Let's go ahead and kind of I want coral. You know, I wish I had a nice coral color. That's the one color I'm kind of missing in my layer cakes is coral. So to do that, I guess what I will do, I can always mix up a little orange, you know, a little orange here, a little white, and a little, maybe a little pink. I'll make a nice sort of peachy coral. And I want that for her shells. Such a modest mermaid, you know. And then let's go ahead and darken that a little. And I would like to make sure that her face is actually dry before I go and paint her lips, but that's okay. And then too, here you can kind of see where I painted her nose lost its definition. So of course you could just go back in and add a little. And you know, if you make a mistake, it's really nice because you can use a thirsty brush, which is a clean brush that has just a little moisture. You can use that thirsty brush to pull your color back up and then let it dry and then go back in later and fix it up. Okay. And then, you know, if you do want to do that over stamping to sort of bring out the detail again, we'll definitely do that. And a little black ink on there. I don't know if I got it all the way inked up though or not. Sometimes, like I said, it's hard to tell on there. And then one thing I'm just going to say is I would love to make sure that it is all dry. I don't really I think that it is. I'll dry it just for a sec. Amy says, I want to order her food truck palette. Yes. So I will. Oops, it was a little wet, so not ideal for that. However, it's still not really bad. It really isn't. And I'm going to show that's at its worst. Okay. However, once I go back in with just a little bit of white and fix up her eyes, a little bit of paint around the outer edges, it will be fine. Bring out some more of that detail. Food truck. One of these is food truck. This is food truck, and I do love it. And then I do have her regular rainbow. And then my other one that I got is her ice cream slice. And I like ice cream slice because it has a lot of neutrals and yeah, so super fun. But my favorites are her wheels. Oh my gosh, I love the pink. Oh gosh, did I just do that? I love the pink wheel. I also actually really love this one. And this one is the Seize the Day. Anyway, all right, so let's get a paint pen. I'm just going to use my little Posca. Of course, you would want to make sure that everything's dry, but then you can go in and start just adding a little back the gleam in her eye. And then, of course, too, where you did get a lot of dark over stamping, maybe you want to go back in. And one of the things I love about layer cakes, okay, is that they will give you coverage. All right. So even though that looks a little smudgy, you can easily go back in and cover a lot of what ails you, right? So you can go in and get a lot of good coverage, So there's that. And then, of course, I would continue to, pull out some other, that's not necessarily darker, but, putting in some other colors and highlights and things like that. Just needed some bubbles. Anyway. All right. So again, that is, which one was she again? Oh, I can't even remember the names already. Oh, well. My iPad turned off, so it's not, I guess it doesn't recognize my face. That one is Adela. Yes, Debbie Martin says Jane has a set of unicorn white paint pens that handle a variety of things. That next time I order, I want to get those because yes, and I heard that they are fantastic. We're big, huge Jane Davenport fans, of course, and her art supplies are just delicious. All right. So the other things I wanted to show you while I have you here, because we do have to go because we're having an after party for anybody who wants to come on over to the after party. I do want to show you our freebie for May because many of you love the freebie, and I had to do something to celebrate Mermaid also. So I did a little tiny thing of scales. Okay. So here you just have just tiny open, completely different from obviously anything that Jane has or did because it's just little open 3 scales. I think you can just use it for, just fun little background patterns. And also I just love the way it sort of fits together. And who said it looks like an angry owl? Yeah, somebody said it looks, before you stamp it, it looks like an angry owl. But anyway, that is May's freebie. And I know that y'all probably wanted to see that. And then also had to just share with you, super excited because I just wanted to mention that anybody who does collect the Art Foamy stickers from our various artists, Jane does have a new sticker for this collection, okay? With this little scales, if you can see that. So now I have to add another one to my sticker collection. I don't know how many of you got a chance to see, but we've been doing stickers in my Patreon, and so I made this sticker book, and I am absolutely just, it's like one of my favorite things I've made lately. And I know we have so many of you that write and tell me that you collect these stickers. So I just wanted to let you know that because it's an important part of Art Foamy Fun. And then, of course, next week, please come back for the Art Foamy Great Mooney pop-up. And I do want to show you, this is my moon journal with all of the Mooney pop-up images in here. So please come back next week to see the big reveal. All right. Anyway, let me turn this camera around one more time just to say thank you so much for hanging out with me, spending your Friday evenings with me, with us, and having some Art Foamy fun. So again, love you to the moon and back. Stay safe, stay sane, stay makey, and that's the deal. And I will see you real soon. If you're going to come to the after party, you should have received a link. So I'll see you over there in about 5 minutes. Bye, everyone. See you soon. Have a great weekend.